Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Jobu, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Let's get open for business, and let's wake up the football gods. I'm a little bit under the weather, taking a lot of cold meds, so I'm a little bit out of my mind. You know, it's funny because people make fun of me about my intro because I say, without you guys, it doesn't work without you. And that is the truth because this is not just me, it's not just Jobu, it's really all of us together. Because like Miss Jackie and all the great moderators that we have out there that help take and keep the peace and everything else on the channel, Miss Jackie, Mark Sampson, who's in England and stuff, they want to make sure I don't miss anything, so they're always sending me links and things that are going on with the team and stuff just to keep up, because it's hard to keep up. And as I was laying there with these cold meds, I have kind of an analytical mind. I like to try and see how pieces work and stuff. And in my mind, when you think about what the Cowboys did the draft, everybody thought we were going to go for a safety. And the Cowboys went defensive line, and then, of course, we went offensive line. And some people out there kind of look at this and say, well, the Dallas Cowboys were already stacked at offensive line. I mean, you know, you got Cam Fleming backing up Tyron Smith. You've got Zach Martin, whose knee's gotten right. You got Travis Frederick coming back. You got Joe Looney, who can play guard, center, or guard, who's got experience backing up. You got Lyle Collins. You got Connor Williams, who is turning into the Blue Hulk. And then you go ahead and you get another guard, center, and Connor McGovern. Well, the interesting thing is when the Dallas Cowboys have gotten a offensive lineman in the first and second round in recent history, they immediately plug them in and have had a lot of success with that. And to put that much draft capital into a guy, I kept thinking about that. It's like, if they're going to plug him in there, then you're putting Connor Williams. I mean, you're not going to set Travis Frederick or Zach Martin. That means if he's going to play immediately, he's going to probably play guard. And then you take Connor Williams, you put him out of tackle, and that leaves you with Lyle Collins. And Lyle Collins, here's the interesting thing is, I love Lyle Collins. I've met him. His smile lights up the room. He's great with kids and everything else. But the reality on things are, as a team, you only have so many resources. And you have to figure out where you're going to put your eggs at to make the team best all the way around. You may look at, like, let's say Dez Bryant, for example. The Cowboys made a calculated decision and said, okay, if we spend $16 million on Dez Bryant, what will that keep us from venting over here? And the decision was, let's let Dez go, take that money, and we can spend it on 2, 3, or 4 guys and be better collectively. And we'll worry about the wide receiver elsewhere. Sometimes that'll backfire on you. Sometimes it ends up being a great play. But make no mistake about it, a team like New England, just let me throw this in here, Super Bowl winning team, 13 of their players that were starters were 4th round or beyond. So forget about where somebody's drafted. So having spent another offensive lineman right there, it does a couple things for you. It gets a guy already into the rotation as players get older, so you're restocking. It gives you depth because now you've got more offensive linemen than you need. And when you look at Lyle Collins, here's the thing, and we talk about the resources. You look at Tyrone Crawford, who's a $10 million cap hit. If he's released or traded, you save almost $6 million. Lyle Collins is 9.9. If he is released or traded, it's $8.5 million. And then you have Alan Hearns, who's 6.2, you save 5. And I'm not recommending that we cut any of those people. But what I'm saying is as a team, being loyal goes against winning. You look at those players and say, if I keep them, what do I keep from getting? Okay. Enter the Raiders and Miss Jackie. So as I was laying there thinking about Lyle Collins, because you now have Connor McGovern, who can play guard and start immediately, Lyle Collins, if you trade him for something, you're getting something right now. Or if he plays out this year and then signs a big contract elsewhere, you get a compensatory pick. And ultimately, that's what you want to do, is you want to be able to get something for a player that you have picked up, that you've played, you've teached, and everything else. If you can get something in return, you're ahead of the curve, a la New England. Enter the Raiders, who have been great trading partners over the last few years. We've had quite a few trades, and thank you very much for Amari Cooper. The Raiders had tons and tons of holes. They had 9 picks, and they did, best they could to fill them. And one of those holes is offensive line. Now, they definitely need somebody to protect Derek Carr because they don't want to see him crying on the field anymore. But the interesting thing is, in 2016, Karl Joseph, 5'10" safety out of West Virginia, had a pre-draft visit to the Dallas Cowboys. And the Dallas Cowboys always like drafting guys that they've had visits with. They like to get to know these people, so they know this guy. Karl Joseph kind of fell out of favor with Oakland. The first 5 games, he only had 55 snaps and did not look really good. He became a role player. But in the second half of the season, much like Amari Cooper, he went off. Right now, he's got 180 tackles, 2 sacks, 3 interceptions, and 2 forced fumbles to his career. He's young. He's a first-round pick. And the Raiders are looking at saying bye-bye to him. Thus, maybe you make a trade for players. Now, here's interesting. His scores. Check this out. His tackling, 70.9 tackling grade, which was 20.9 the year before. His pass coverage grade, 68, up from 11.5 the year before. And his overall grade, a 74.5, up from 6.8. So what you're looking at is, now he's shorter than what Chris Richard usually likes. He likes length. Although I will say this, he's 5'10.5, about the same height as somebody else we were looking at, one Earl Thomas. So the Dallas Cowboys may not be done by any stretch of the imagination, and they probably definitely are looking into this. Thank you, Miss Jackie, for sending me this article from Blogging the Boys on there, and it's definitely helped me put the pieces together on what's a possibility with La'el Collins. And that's where you look at the team having as many players as possible. Now, I'm not saying that this is or isn't going to happen, but if you are a team, you are constantly looking at how can I get better. It's a 365-day-a-year process for upgrading the team. And you always have to be ready. You're always on the phone talking to other teams, trying to find out what they need and what we have that we can work with. And this would be interesting. So you have to finally weigh having La'el Collins as a starting right tackle at a big chunk of change. Or do you look at, say, we get a first-round talent safety who is still on his rookie contract that we can exercise a 5th-year option, which means you don't have to pay him this year or next year. It's the year after. So in many, many ways, you can save some cash, you can address your safety issue, and you can get something in return. So we'll have to wait and see how that all works out. I'm excited. And this probably won't be the first player swap and things that we hear. Again, we don't know if the Cowboys are actually working on this or not, or if this is just conjure from Blogging the Boys. But what we do know is Karl Joseph is that the Oakland Raiders are definitely looking at doing something, and they need to take care of offensive line. So having a relationship currently with the Raiders definitely bodes well for having a conversation, if nothing else. And last night we did the drawing for all the super chats that everybody had done during the draft. And Benjamin Forbes, I'm still waiting for your email, Benjamin. Benjamin Forbes please email me at cowboysmark94@gmail.com, so that way we can get your address so we can get your Dak Prescott autographed shirt to you. And that's all I have to say about that. I'm going to go take some more cold meds, and I'm going to go lay down, and I probably sound a little loopy, but hey, what can you do? I'm Mark Holmes, and I'll see you soon.